Hello, and it's January the 1st, 2009. Happy New Year. And I feel very happy today. I'm back home just for a little while to do my video. My video is all about recovery from addiction to substance or behaviour. My substance, alcohol, my behaviour for those 35 years, as well as drink, was workaholic and relationship starter, and a constant quester for life, a journeyman, somebody trying to do this, that and the other, an arrogant outlook possibly. And often if we are frightened of something, we try and blot it out, and often oblivion was my particular requirement when using alcohol. I drank because it was good, made me feel happy. I drank when life was sad and very, very desolate. And what I didn't know at the time was behind that was probably a depressive personality, and somebody who was not too sure or too clear what life was all about. And it's only in the last few years of being in recovery, that is, not drinking one day at a time, that I've built up some understanding of what life is today, and is as good as it can be on a daily basis. And we all have objectives, outlooks, ideas about where we would like to be. And what's happened to me in recovery is that I'm finding on a gentle daily basis a better way of living. So I cannot solve all my problems at once in one day, but one of the things which has helped me sort out one or two problems a day at a time is being sober. And what's kept me sober is the fellowship of AA. And AA is not the only way. So it works for me because I work at it, and I met a bunch of people who have one particular primary directive, which is not to drink one day at a time, not to fall back into a malady of addiction, and just try to make life as good as it can be on this one day. So if you'd asked me 5 years ago, would AA solve my problems with drink, the answer would have been an emphatic no, because I don't join fellowships. I do things because I have self-will, willpower, and it will save me in the end. Unfortunately, what I found was my self-will, willpower would always let me down, because I was willing myself to be sober rather than actually living sober. And there's a great big difference between the two. If we're trying to will ourselves one way or another, we're continually putting up a brave face, hiding behind some fear, and utilising our ego probably a bit too much. And what I found is a bit of courage, faith and confidence to be doing the right thing and generally behaving as well as I can and making the most of what is in front of me. I stand a fighting chance of being sober just for one day at a time. So the 24-hour program of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, saved my life. And I hope that it can help other people, which is why I keep going to meetings. And if you've got any idea of what you think AA is, some people think it's a cult, some people think it's dogmatic, some people feel that they cannot get on with the program, and many people sort of exit feeling frustrated because it doesn't fix them. And the difficulty I had was I was always good at fixing my life, fixing it this way or that, putting a sticking plaster over gaping wounds, and they seemed to hold for quite a long time. But ultimately, alcohol ruined me in the material and romantic sense, I guess. And what I've learned in sobriety is it's better to learn to do things slowly. Do less more thoroughly. I think that's my New Year's resolution, to do less more thoroughly. And I get great ideas on a daily basis now that my brain is functioning. And some ideas are a bit outlandish and impossible, and I know my choices around them are not that great. But other choices I have to make this simple program work. Not drink, get on with life. It sounds easy, doesn't it? But to try and stop drinking takes an awful lot of courage, faith, and building of self-esteem and confidence. And there are many ways of doing that, not just the fellowship of AA, but I like it. I've come to understand how to make my life work better. And on this small card here is the AA preamble, which is said at the beginning of every meeting, and I'd like to share it with everyone simply because it slows me down and makes me reflect on where I am today. And it says this: Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. So we go there for one reason, to get sober, and we stay unique, authentic people. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So what it means is we all go into fellowship, if you like, with all the accoutrement of success and failure, whatever has happened to us. And we remain unique, authentic people. And what happens to us, we stop drinking, if we're lucky, a day at a time. And, you know, the trouble with any addiction is we can get found out, caught out, and generally find life so difficult at one stage or another that we end up going back to drink, or whatever the drug of choice, or whatever the behaviour of choice may be, simply because we want that safety again. And the unfortunate thing with addiction is, if you've once relied on it so heavily that it's taken you over and completely obsessed you, turned you into a self-obsessed person around its use, then going back to that particular form of substance or behaviour is not good. It just means we get back stuck in the malady, in the problem, and not living in the solution. So the fellowship of AA simply is about living in the solutions of life, but not an alcoholic one. And, you know, I've been trying to do this video and trying to find the authentic message to share with people who may be trying to come in. And simply, you can't share the whole program at once. It's a very simple program of gentle attitude and behavioural change. We change at the pace which suits us. And it enables us to have a better emotional, physical and spiritual outlook on life. It cannot tell you what your spiritual life might be. It can just enable you to find what spiritual is for you. It can help you sort out what your emotions are, and it can help you with your physical problems, in as much as most of them disappear if we put down the drink and live a fairly simple life. So what's my message today? I'm in year 5 of recovery, which is a posh way, or an over-exaggerated way of saying I've done 4 years and a half. So I'm in my 5th year. And I'm smiling, sort of bemused, because that's the way we are. We tend to look on the bright side, the solution that we're in, rather than say, we're only this or we're only that. And we stop saying, if only life was fair. We start saying, life is fair, we have a fair go. And most of us have the opportunities which are open to us with what we have in the situation we have. It's living life on life's terms. And that's the biggest gift for me. And one or two people have asked me to say some more about the 12-step action program, which I can. But if you're a newcomer, the only way to really get to grips with something like this is to take the plunge and try out a meeting of AA and see what it holds for you. In fact, try out more than one meeting of AA, just seeing what it can do for you, and seeing how people are. And what you find is, some people have been in for decades and very happy with their lives, or unhappy with their lives, because sometimes you know we don't get everything that we ask for. But simply, if we live in the solution rather than the problem, life is better, and at least we have a life to live. Addiction kills people. It's a disease, and it's not something that willpower on its own will cure. That's what I know for sure. I also know that if I tried to do this on my own, isolated, I would have failed, because there would be no way of me on my own regulating my behaviour. So what am I saying? I'm better off in the company of a fellowship of people who like to stay sober, who become unique, authentic people themselves, not some sort of bashed out robot, not some sort of I am now well because I've done this and graduated. We never graduate from the program of life. So life is as it is, one day at a time. And without alcohol, it gives us a fighting chance to just accept sometimes where we are for one day. So my sincere and heartfelt happy felicitations to anybody who's going to try and start on a sober path. And I recognise how hard that is. It took me years to work out it was good for me. And I'll leave it there for today. Just for today, life's okay.